You ever feel like you're trying to read a book written in invisible ink? I mean, that's pretty much what it's like dealing with a Capricorn, right? Well, today, we're going to dig into a numerological analysis that says it has the decoder ring for all those silent intentions.
You know that feeling. The connection feels so real, the vibe is totally there, but their words, crickets. It's so confusing, it's frustrating, and honestly, it can make you question everything. So if you have ever found yourself just staring at your phone, wondering what on earth is going on inside that Capricorn's head, yeah, this is for you.
So, the source we're digging into today says the answers aren't just in the stars, they're actually in the numbers. And we're going to follow this blueprint it lays out to decode their silence. Not as rejection, but, as a language we can actually learn to speak.
All right, so first things first, let's get a handle on the tool we're using here. The source has this specific method for analyzing the energy of this exact time frame we're talking about. So before we jump into what it all means, let's do a quick breakdown of how it even works.
Okay, so the core concept is something called period numerology. The whole idea is that every single chunk of time has its own unique vibrational energy, and you can figure it out just by turning dates into numbers. I know it might sound a little complex, but trust me, the way the source breaks it down, it's actually super simple.
So here's how they do the math. First, you take the dates, 21 and 31. Add them up, reduce it down, and you get a 7. Easy. Next up, the month of December. That becomes a 3. And finally, the year, 2025. That reduces to a 9. You add those three numbers together, 7 plus 3 plus 9, and you get a grand total of 19.
But wait, here's the crucial last step. That final number, 19, gets reduced one more time. So 1 plus 9 is 10, and then 1 plus 0, that gives us the big overall number for this whole period, number 1. And according to the source, what this means is there's this really powerful energy pushing for a new beginning. But it's being held back by some seriously intense, controlled vibes.
Okay, so we've got our numbers, 1, 7, and 9. But what does any of that actually tell us about what your crush is feeling, right? This is where we get to the good stuff. The source lays out 4 huge insights for us.
All right, insight number 1, and this is probably the most important thing you'll hear, that silence, it is not emptiness. The source is super clear about this. The feelings are there, they are 100% genuine. They're just being, well, deliberately kept under lock and key.
And this quote from the source just nails it perfectly. Dil mein interest hai, par zuban par nahi, which translates to the interest is in the heart, but not on the tongue. I mean, wow. That's the perfect way to describe what's going on inside, isn't it?
So, okay, why all the silence? Let's a mix of a few things. First, you've just got that classic Capricorn energy, practical, serious. They're not thinking about this weekend. They're looking at you through a 5-year plan lens. And that whole number 1 energy, that new beginning, yeah, they're not just diving in. They are looking at it from every single angle, super, super cautiously.
Which brings us to insight number 2. And this one is a really big shift in how you should see this. They're not just being passive and quiet. Oh no, they're actively observing you. So think of it less like silence and more like they're doing research.
And get this, the source says the literal question running through their mind is this: "Ye person serious hai? Yeah, time pass." Basically, is this person for real, or are they just here to waste my time? Every single thing you do, every text you send is getting filtered through that one critical question.
So what exactly are they watching for? Well, this is where that number 7 from our math earlier comes back into play. Remember, it's all about observation, emotional reserve. So they're watching to see how patient you are. They're looking for consistency. Do your actions actually match up with your words over a long period? That's the test.
Now, the third insight really adds a layer of, well, compassion to all this caution. Because their slowness, it might not even be about you. It could be about the baggage they're already carrying. Remember that number 9 we calculated? Yeah, in this system, that number is all about the past. We're talking karmic lessons, old emotional wounds, major burdens. Maybe it's a past relationship that really hurt them, or it could be a huge responsibility they have with their family or their job. Whatever it is, that weight is what's making them move so slow and be so deliberate.
And that brings us to the final insight, number 4, which really ties everything together with who they are at their core. For a Capricorn, especially with this numerology in play, any move they make, I mean any move, absolutely has to be on solid ground.
This all goes back to that main vibration we found, the number 1. They want that new beginning, for sure, but it has to be a real one. To them, a half-hearted, casual attempt is way worse than doing nothing at all. So believe me, when they finally do speak up, it's going to be with total certainty. And it's going to be because they think it's built to last.
Okay, so we've cracked the code on their silence. The big question is, now what do you do? Well, the source doesn't leave us hanging. It gives a super clear, actionable game plan. This is your strategy for getting through this period and building that solid foundation they're secretly looking for.
And it's a pretty simple 3-step plan. Step 1, patience. Seriously, that is the master key. Step 2, absolutely no pressure. And that means no, so where's this going talks, and definitely no anxious double texting. Just don't. And third, be consistent and supportive. Right now, a steady, practical presence is worth way more than any big dramatic gesture.
All right, let's put all the pieces together. What's the final verdict here? What should you really expect to happen within this specific window of time, according to this analysis? Here's the bottom line, and this is so important. If you're waiting for some big, dramatic love confession by the end of the year, you're kind of missing the point. This whole period isn't about the grand finale. It's about building the foundation. The real focus needs to be on building trust, not waiting for a confession.
Which leaves us with one last question. And this one isn't about them, it's about you. The source makes it pretty clear that the groundwork for something real and serious is being laid, one silent brick at a time. So the real question is, do you have the patience and do you have the vision to stick around and help build on it?